Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie. Chapter 1, The Letter. In the opening chapter of Five Little Pigs, we are introduced to Hercule Poirot, the celebrated detective, who receives an intriguing letter from a young woman named Carla Le Marchand. Carla seeks Poirot's assistance in unraveling a mystery that has haunted her family for 16 years, the murder of her mother, Caroline Crail. The letter reveals that Caroline Crail was convicted of poisoning her husband, the famous painter Amies Crail, and died in prison while serving her sentence. However, Carla is convinced of her mother's innocence and believes that the true culprit has never been identified. Carla's plea for justice resonates with Poirot, who is intrigued by the challenge of solving a cold case. He agrees to take on the investigation, setting in motion a journey into the past that will uncover long-buried secrets and hidden motives. As Poirot delves deeper into the circumstances surrounding Caroline Crail's death, he discovers a tangled web of relationships and emotions that provide fertile ground for suspicion. Amies Crail's infidelity, Caroline's jealousy, and the presence of other key players in the household all point to a complex and volatile situation on the day of the murder. Through interviews with Carla and other individuals connected to the case, Poirot begins to piece together a timeline of events leading up to Amies Crail's death. He learns of the strange dynamics within the Crail household and the various grievances harbored by those closest to the victim. The chapter introduces readers to the central mystery of Five Little Pigs and lays the groundwork for a multi-layered investigation that will challenge Poirot's deductive skills to their limits. As Poirot sifts through the evidence and analyzes the testimonies of witnesses, he uncovers inconsistencies and discrepancies that cast doubt on the original verdict. The letter serves as a catalyst for Poirot's investigation, igniting his curiosity and determination to uncover the truth. Through Carla's heartfelt plea for justice, readers are drawn into a compelling narrative that explores themes of love, betrayal, and redemption. As Poirot embarks on his quest for answers, he must navigate a maze of conflicting accounts and hidden agendas, where nothing is as it seems. With his meticulous attention to detail and unparalleled insight into human nature, Poirot pursues the truth with unwavering resolve, determined to uncover the secrets that lie buried in the past. In Chapter 1, Agatha Christie sets the stage for a gripping murder mystery that will keep readers guessing until the final revelation. Through Poirot's perspective, we are invited into a world of intrigue and deception, where motives are obscured and truth is elusive. As the investigation unfolds, Poirot's pursuit of justice becomes a journey of self-discovery, as he confronts his own biases and preconceptions. Through his interactions with Carla and other characters, Poirot gains insight into the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of love and loyalty. Overall, Chapter 1 of Five Little Pigs lays the foundation for a riveting tale of murder and redemption, where past sins cast long shadows and the truth is waiting to be uncovered. With its richly drawn characters, atmospheric setting, and cleverly constructed plot, the novel promises to captivate readers from beginning to end. Chapter 2, The House. In Chapter 2 of Five Little Pigs, Hercule Poirot begins his investigation by visiting the house where the murder of Amies Crail took place 16 years ago. The house, known as Alderbury, is a grand and imposing mansion nestled in the picturesque countryside, its ivy-covered walls hiding a multitude of secrets. As Poirot arrives at Alderbury, he is struck by the air of melancholy that hangs over the estate. The house, once a symbol of wealth and privilege, now stands as a silent witness to the tragedy that unfolded within its walls. Its faded grandeur serves as a stark reminder of the past, evoking memories of a time long gone. Upon entering the house, Poirot is greeted by the current owner, Miss Williams, who has graciously agreed to allow him access to the premises. Miss Williams, a distant relative of Amir's Creole, is a formidable woman with a keen intellect and a shrewd eye for detail. She provides Poirot with valuable insights into the history of the house and its occupants, shedding light on the events that led to Amir's Creole's untimely demise. As Poirot explores the rooms of Alderbury, he is struck by the sense of nostalgia that pervades the house. Each room holds echoes of the past, its walls whispering secrets that have long been forgotten. From the opulent drawing room to the cozy library, Poirot immerses himself in the atmosphere of the house, searching for clues that may shed light on the mystery at its heart. One room, in particular, captures Poirot's attention, the studio where Amir's Creole worked and where his life was ultimately cut short. The studio is a treasure trove of artistic inspiration, its walls adorned with paintings that bear witness to Amir's talent and passion. Here, amidst the easels and paintbrushes, Poirot senses the presence of the artist himself, his spirit lingering in the air like a ghost from the past. As Poirot delves deeper into the history of Alderbury, he uncovers a wealth of information about its former inhabitants. From Amir's Creole's tempestuous marriage to Caroline, to the various guests and acquaintances who passed through its doors, the house holds secrets that may hold the key to solving the mystery of Amir's murder. Throughout his investigation, Poirot is assisted by Miss Williams, whose sharp wit and keen observation skills prove invaluable in unraveling the tangled web of lies and deceit that surrounds the case. Together, they pore over old letters and diaries, piecing together fragments of information in their quest for the truth. As Poirot explores the grounds of Alderbury, he encounters other residents who have their own connections to the case. From the loyal servants who served the Creole family faithfully, to the local villagers who remember the events of 16 years ago, each person Poirot meets adds another layer to the story, bringing him closer to the elusive truth. As the chapter draws to a close, Poirot reflects on the significance of Alderbury in the investigation. The house, with its hidden corridors and secret passageways, holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the past. Its walls may be silent, but they bear witness to the events that shaped the lives of those who lived within them. In Chapter 2 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie masterfully sets the stage for a complex and captivating mystery, drawing readers into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems. Through Poirot's eyes, we are invited to explore the secrets of Alderbury and uncover the truth behind Amir's Creole's murder. Chapter 3, The Evidence. In Chapter 3 of Five Little Pigs, Hercule Poirot delves deeper into the case by examining the evidence surrounding the murder of Amir's Creole. As he sifts through the clues and testimonies gathered over 16 years, Poirot begins to unravel the complex web of lies and deceit that shrouds the truth of what really happened on that fateful day. The chapter opens with Poirot reviewing the evidence collected by the police during their initial investigation into Amir's Creole's murder. From witness statements to forensic reports, each piece of evidence offers a glimpse into the events that unfolded at Alderbury on that fateful day. One of the key pieces of evidence is the murder weapon itself, a poisoned cocktail that claimed Amir's Creole's life. Poirot examines the chemical composition of the poison, analyzing its potency and effects in an effort to determine how it was administered and by whom. As Poirot delves deeper into the evidence, he uncovers inconsistencies and discrepancies that cast doubt on the original verdict of the case. Witness statements conflict with one another, alibis crumble under scrutiny, and motives emerge that paint a much more complex picture of the events leading up to Amir's Creole's death. One of the central figures in the case is Caroline Crail, Amuse's wife and the prime suspect in his murder. Throughout the investigation, Poirot pieces together Caroline's movements on the day of the murder, uncovering hidden motives and secret rendezvous that suggest she may have had a more significant role in her husband's death than previously believed. As Poirot continues to gather evidence, he encounters other key players in the case, each with their own motives and secrets to hide. From family members to friends and acquaintances, everyone connected to the Crail family becomes a potential suspect as Poirot seeks to uncover the truth. One particularly intriguing piece of evidence comes in the form of a letter written by Amirs Crail himself, in which he expresses his suspicions about his wife's fidelity and hints at a possible motive for his murder. The letter raises questions about the nature of Amir's and Caroline's relationship and adds another layer of complexity to the case. As Poirot sifts through the evidence, he begins to piece together a timeline of events leading up to the murder, drawing connections between seemingly unrelated details and uncovering hidden motives that shed new light on the case. With each revelation, Poirot gets closer to unraveling the mystery of Amirs Crail's death and bringing the true culprit to justice. In Chapter 3 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie expertly weaves together a tapestry of clues and evidence that keeps readers guessing until the very end. Through Poirot's meticulous investigation, we are drawn into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more elusive than ever. Chapter 4: The Alibis. In Chapter 4 of Five Little Pigs, Hercule Poirot focuses his investigation on scrutinizing the alibis of the various suspects in the murder of Amirs Crail. As he meticulously examines each individual's whereabouts on the day of the crime, Poirot uncovers inconsistencies and discrepancies that cast doubt on their innocence and bring him closer to uncovering the truth. The chapter opens with Poirot poring over the alibis provided by each of the suspects: Elsa Greer, Philip Blake, Meredith Blake, Cecilia Williams, and Angela Warren. Each one claims to have been elsewhere at the time of the murder, but Poirot remains skeptical and begins his investigation by verifying their stories. Elsa Greer, Amirs Crail's former lover, is the first suspect to come under Poirot's scrutiny. She claims to have been in London at the time of the murder, but Poirot discovers inconsistencies in her alibi and suspects that she may be hiding something. Through careful questioning and examination of the evidence, Poirot uncovers a motive for Elsa to want Amirs dead and begins to suspect her involvement in the crime. Next, Poirot turns his attention to Philip Blake, Amuse's best friend and the brother of Caroline Crail. Philip's alibi seems airtight at first, but upon closer inspection, Poirot uncovers discrepancies that suggest he may not have been where he claims to have been. As Poirot digs deeper into Philip's movements on the day of the murder, he uncovers a possible motive stemming from Philip's jealousy of Amuse's relationship with Caroline. Meredith Blake, Philip's brother and another close friend of Amir's, also falls under suspicion as Poirot investigates his alibi. Meredith's story seems plausible at first, but Poirot uncovers inconsistencies that suggest he may be hiding something. Through careful questioning and analysis of the evidence, Poirot uncovers a possible motive for Meredith to want Amirs dead and begins to suspect his involvement in the crime. Cecilia Williams, Amuse's neighbor and another potential suspect, also provides an alibi that seems credible at first. However, Poirot uncovers discrepancies in her story that cast doubt on her innocence. As he investigates further, Poirot uncovers a motive for Cecilia to want Amirs dead and begins to suspect her involvement in the crime. Finally, Poirot turns his attention to Angela Warren, Amuse's young protégée and the daughter of the Crail family's housekeeper. Angela's alibi seems the weakest of all, and Poirot suspects that she may be hiding something. As he investigates further, Poirot uncovers a motive for Angela to want Amir's dead and begins to suspect her involvement in the crime. As Poirot continues to unravel the web of lies and deceit surrounding the murder of Amir's Creole, he becomes increasingly convinced that one of the suspects is responsible for the crime. Through his meticulous investigation of their alibis, Poirot uncovers hidden motives and secret agendas that paint a much darker picture of the events leading up to Amir's death. In Chapter 4 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie masterfully crafts a suspenseful and intricate mystery that keeps readers guessing until the very end. Through Poirot's meticulous examination of the suspects' alibis, we are drawn into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more elusive than ever. Chapter 5: The Inquest. In Chapter 5 of Five Little Pigs, Hercule Poirot attends the inquest into the death of Amir's Creole, where he witnesses the testimonies of various witnesses and scrutinizes their statements for clues that may lead him closer to unraveling the mystery of who killed Amir's Creole. The chapter begins with Poirot arriving at the courthouse, where the inquest into Amir's Creole's death is being held. As he takes his seat among the spectators, Poirot observes the proceedings with keen interest, eager to glean any insights that may help him in his investigation. The first witness called to testify is Caroline Creole, Amir's wife and the prime suspect in his murder. Caroline recounts the events leading up to Amir's death, claiming that she discovered him dead in his studio after returning from a walk. Despite the accusations leveled against her, Caroline maintains her innocence and insists that she had no motive to kill her husband. Next, Poirot listens intently as Ulcer takes the stand and provides her account of the events surrounding Amir's death. Ulcer claims to have been in London at the time of the murder, but Poirot remains skeptical of her alibi and suspects that she may be hiding something. Through careful questioning, Poirot attempts to uncover the truth behind Ulcer's involvement in the crime. Philip Blake is the next witness called to testify, and he recounts his interactions with Amir's on the day of the murder. Philip insists that he had no reason to harm his friend and maintains his innocence throughout his testimony. However, Poirot detects a hint of unease in Philip's demeanor and resolves to delve deeper into his possible motives for wanting Amir's dead. Meredith Blake follows Philip on the stand, providing his own version of events leading up to Amir's death. Meredith's testimony corroborates Philip's account, but Poirot remains wary of the brothers and suspects that they may be hiding something. Through careful questioning, Poirot attempts to uncover any inconsistencies in Meredith's story that may shed light on his possible involvement in the crime. Cecilia Williams, Amir's neighbor, is the next witness called to testify, and she provides her own account of the events surrounding the murder. Cecilia insists that she had no motive to harm Amir's and maintains her innocence throughout her testimony. However, Poirot detects a hint of nervousness in Cecilia's demeanor and resolves to investigate further into her possible motives for wanting Amir's dead. Finally, Angela Warren takes the stand and provides her own version of events leading up to Amir's death. Angela's testimony is emotional and heartfelt, and she maintains her innocence throughout her testimony. However, Poirot detects a hint of deception in Angela's demeanor and resolves to uncover the truth behind her involvement in the crime. As the inquest progresses, Poirot carefully analyzes the testimonies of each witness, searching for any inconsistencies or discrepancies that may help him uncover the truth behind Amir's Creole's murder. Through his meticulous investigation, Poirot begins to piece together the puzzle surrounding the crime and gradually narrows down the list of suspects. In Chapter 5 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie masterfully crafts a suspenseful and captivating narrative that keeps readers on the edge of their seats. Through Poirot's keen observations and astute deductions, we are drawn into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more elusive than ever. Chapter 6: The Conclusions. In Chapter 6 of Five Little Pigs, Hercule Poirot gathers all the evidence and testimonies he has collected throughout his investigation to piece together the truth behind the murder of Amyas Creyle. With his keen intellect and sharp intuition, Poirot navigates through a web of lies and deceit to uncover the identity of the real killer. The chapter opens with Poirot meticulously reviewing the evidence he has gathered so far. He sifts through witness testimonies, alibis, and physical evidence, searching for inconsistencies and clues that may lead him closer to solving the mystery. As he pores over the details of the case, Poirot begins to form theories and hypotheses about the true sequence of events on the day of Amyas's murder. Poirot focuses his attention on each of the suspects in turn, carefully scrutinizing their motives and opportunities to commit the crime. He considers Caroline Creyle, Amyas's wife, who had the most obvious motive for wanting her husband dead. However, Poirot is not convinced of Caroline's guilt and believes that there may be more to the story than meets the eye. Next, Poirot examines the alibis of the other suspects: Ulcer Greer, Philip Blake, Meredith Blake, and Cecilia Williams. He meticulously analyzes their movements on the day of the murder, searching for any discrepancies or inconsistencies that may cast doubt on their innocence. Through his careful examination, Poirot begins to unravel the tangled web of lies surrounding the case and inch closer to the truth. As Poirot delves deeper into the investigation, he uncovers hidden secrets and long-buried resentments that shed new light on the events leading up to Amyas's murder. He discovers that each of the suspects had a motive for wanting Amyas dead, whether it be jealousy, revenge, or self-preservation. With each revelation, Poirot pieces together the puzzle of the murder, drawing closer to the elusive truth. Finally, Poirot gathers all the suspects together in a dramatic climax, where he reveals his findings and unmasks the true killer. With masterful precision, Poirot exposes the murderer's identity and motives, shocking the assembled group with the truth behind Amyas's death. As the dust settles and the truth sinks in, Poirot reflects on the nature of justice and the complexities of human nature that lie at the heart of every crime. In Chapter 6 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie delivers a gripping and suspenseful conclusion to the murder mystery that keeps readers guessing until the very end. Through Poirot's brilliant deduction and unwavering determination, we are drawn into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more elusive than ever. Chapter 7: The Verdict. In Chapter 7 of Five Little Pigs, the culmination of Hercule Poirot's investigation reaches its climax as the truth behind the murder of Amyas Creyle is finally revealed. With all the evidence laid bare and the suspect's secrets exposed, the courtroom becomes the stage for the final showdown between justice and deception. As the chapter begins, the trial of Caroline Creyle, accused of poisoning her husband Amyas, is underway. The courtroom is packed with spectators eager to witness the resolution of the sensational case that has captured the public's imagination. Among the onlookers is Hercule Poirot, the famed detective who has been called upon to unravel the mystery and uncover the truth. As the trial progresses, Poirot observes the proceedings with keen interest, analyzing the testimonies of the witnesses and the arguments presented by the prosecution and the defense. He scrutinizes every detail, searching for clues that may shed light on the true identity of Amyas's killer. The prosecution presents its case against Caroline Crail, painting her as a jealous and vindictive woman driven to murder by her husband's infidelity. They call witnesses to testify to Caroline's volatile temper and her tumultuous relationship with Amirs, presenting a compelling narrative that portrays her as the prime suspect in his death. However, as the defense begins to present its case, Poirot detects inconsistencies in the testimonies of the witnesses and discrepancies in the evidence presented by the prosecution. He begins to suspect that there may be more to the story than meets the eye and that the truth of what happened on the day of Amirs's murder may be far more complex than anyone realizes. As the trial reaches its climax, Poirot is called to the witness stand to present his findings and reveal the truth behind Amirs's death. With characteristic flair and precision, Poirot delivers a dramatic summation of the case, laying bare the motives and opportunities of each of the suspects and exposing the true killer in a stunning revelation that leaves the courtroom reeling. With the mystery finally solved and the truth revealed, the jury retires to consider its verdict. As they deliberate, Poirot reflects on the nature of justice and the complexities of human nature that lie at the heart of every crime. In the end, it is not just the question of guilt or innocence that is at stake, but the very essence of truth and morality that underpins the fabric of society. As the jury returns to deliver its verdict, the tension in the courtroom reaches its peak. With bated breath, the spectators await the outcome of the trial, knowing that the decision they make will shape the lives of all involved. And as the verdict is announced, the true significance of Poirot's investigation is revealed, proving once and for all that justice, however elusive, will always prevail in the end. In Chapter 7 of Five Little Pigs, Agatha Christie delivers a gripping and suspenseful conclusion to the murder mystery that keeps readers guessing until the very end. Through Poirot's brilliant deduction and unwavering determination, we are drawn into a world of intrigue and deception where nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more elusive than ever. Chapter 8, The Last Word. In Chapter 8 of Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie, titled The Last Word, the aftermath of the trial unfolds as Hercule Poirot reflects on the case and ties up the loose ends of the investigation. With the truth finally revealed and justice served, the story reaches its satisfying conclusion, leaving readers with a sense of closure and resolution. As the chapter opens, the trial of Caroline Crail has concluded, and the verdict has been delivered. With Caroline's innocence proven and the true culprit exposed, the courtroom erupts in a mixture of shock and relief. For Hercule Poirot, the resolution of the case marks the end of a long and arduous journey, as he reflects on the twists and turns that led him to the truth. Throughout the chapter, Poirot engages in conversations with various characters involved in the case, tying up loose ends and providing closure for all concerned. He meets with Caroline Crail, now a free woman, and offers her words of comfort and encouragement as she seeks to rebuild her life in the wake of her ordeal. Poirot also speaks with the other suspects in the case, including Angela Warren, who had once been engaged to Amirs Crail, and her brother, Philip Blake. Through these conversations, Poirot gains further insight into the events that led to Amirs's death and the motivations of those involved. As the chapter progresses, Poirot reflects on the nature of justice and the complexities of human nature that lie at the heart of every crime. He contemplates the role of fate and destiny in shaping the lives of those involved in the case, and the lessons that can be gleaned from their experiences. Ultimately, The Last Word serves as a fitting conclusion to the story, tying up the loose ends of the investigation and providing closure for the characters and readers alike. As Poirot bids farewell to the characters he has come to know and understand, he leaves behind a legacy of truth and justice that will endure long after the final page has been turned. In summary, Chapter 8 of Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie provides a satisfying conclusion to the murder mystery, as Hercule Poirot reflects on the case and ties up the loose ends of the investigation. Through conversations with the characters involved, Poirot gains further insight into the events that led to the murder of Amias Creil and the motivations of those involved. Ultimately, the last word serves as a testament to the enduring power of truth and justice, leaving readers with a sense of closure and resolution. If you'd like to delve deeper into the twists and turns of this classic mystery, Five Little Pigs awaits, ready to captivate and challenge with its intricate web of clues and secrets. Please see the links below to embark on this captivating journey.